Hey guys, and welcome back to your English 2 classroom. Today I just wanted to go over with you what your assignments are and kind of an overview for the week. So if we go to our agenda, today you're going to do 1.12 Ed, which is Get Ready to Read by Any Other Name, our next selection. Tomorrow you're going to take your first growth measure assessment, which is to kind of monitor your progress throughout the year. And so my remote learners, you're going to do that at home. I just ask that you do it on your own. Don't get any help from anybody so that I can get a true measure of where your baseline is right now for your reading level and so on. On Wednesday, you're going to read the story and answer all of the questions. And I'm going to go ahead and, well, no, I'll wait to go over that. But I don't work ahead for right now because I do want on Wednesday to go over with you exactly how I want you to answer the questions to make sure that you're doing a really good job on that. On Thursday, you're going to do 1.14 and 1.15, which is in Ed, the check your understanding and the analyze the text. And that day I'll make a video just kind of going over with you again exactly how to effectively answer an essay question with complete sentences, academic language, turning the question into a statement, using text evidence, and so on. And then by Friday, we should be ready for the selection test over by any other name. If anything changes between now and then, I will let you know. So let's just go to today's assignment 1.12, which is get ready for reading by any other name. And we're going to go back to the essential question that we were talking about last week, that when we began this unit. How do we engage with others while staying true to ourselves? This story will really lend itself to this question very easily. I think you'll get the connection between this question and the story very easily, maybe much more so than the goldfish story. So first of all, the title of the essay comes from Shakespeare. So Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. In the play, of course, we have the Montagues and the Capulets and their families that are mortal enemies. And Romeo is a Montague and Juliet is a Capulet. And so they can't be together with their family's blessings. And at one part of the play, Juliet is lamenting the fact that Romeo is a Montague. And she says, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet." So what she's saying is, what does it matter what your name is? If we called a rose a frog, it would still smell like a rose, she says. So she's saying it doesn't matter what our names are. But is it important? Is a person's name important? How so? Are you attached to your name? Would you want someone calling you a different name? Do you like to go by a different name or a nickname? So just think about that question as you read the story. What is in a name? What is important about a person's name? So the cultural context, and the historic context of this is that it was happening in 1928 during the time of colonialism. So Great Britain was one of the European countries that had colonies, as well as France, Portugal, Spain. So India was ruled over by Great Britain, you see here, from 1858 to 1947, so pretty close to 100 years. And they sent British people over to govern, to be the police force, but they also had Indian people working there too. And when I'm saying Indian, not Native American, but Indians from India. Okay. The author, Santha Rama Rao, went to a British school, and she's writing a memoir about her experience at this British school. A memoir is similar to an autobiography, but it is just a part of someone's life, just one story from their life, something that had a major impact on them usually. A president might write his autobiography about his whole life, but he also might just write a memoir about his time as president. So this is going to be a memoir, just a snapshot from one period in the author's life. You're going to make sure that you are making inferences when you read the story, and you can read the examples here, the text excerpt, and the inference that you can make from that. You can read that on your own. Also, we're going to be thinking about the author's purpose. This is something just to review. I know you learned that last year. The author's purpose is the reason that the author writes a particular piece, whether to inform, persuade, entertain, describe. So as you're reading this, think about the things that she includes, the historical and the cultural details that she includes, and why did she include those? Basically, what point is she trying to make by including the things that she included in her story? As you read it on Wednesday, think about the cultural details, the things that they wore, the customs that they had, the ways the classes interact, the way the British students and the Indian students are treated. And just think about those details and how it affects the story. And you can make some annotations or notes in your text for that using your notes at the top. You can take notes right here, as a matter of fact, on anything that you read in your online textbook. So we have 4 vocabulary words today to get ready for this: precarious, insular, sedately, and tepid. So I want you to get definitions for these words. So what I want you to do is open a tab for Merriam-Webster, and you might want to go ahead and bookmark this so that you'll always have it. But let's do the first word, precarious. I want you to learn the words, and then you're going to do the little activity. So precarious means depending on the will or pleasure of another, but that's not actually the definition that we need for this word today. It would be this one: characterized by a lack of security or stability that threatens with danger. So I'm just going to copy that, and I'm going to make a note by highlighting, choosing a color. I don't really care what color you choose. And then I'm going to paste it right here, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so I have a note. So you're going to do that with all 4 of your words. Then you're going to complete this little fill in the blank activity. Now we've been having a little bit of trouble here in class with students having the correct answers. Students having the correct answers, but checking it wrong. So what you need to do is go through and fill in all the blanks carefully, looking at your definitions and figuring out in context how to use the words, and then check it. If you have anything wrong, reset it with this button, click to refresh, and start all over again. And I think that will solve the problem of not being able to get an accurate check on these, okay? The last thing on the get ready is talking about language conventions using appropriate verb tense. In this story, the author uses a lot of past perfect tense. So here's past perfect to indicate an action completed before something else happened. So it's in the past, but it's before something else that happened in the past, if that makes sense. But here's an example. I had talked to Tara on the phone 3 times before we met in person. So you see this had that goes with the verb. I see a lot of people use this incorrectly in speech and in writing a lot, so I'll give you an example of that in a minute. But you see that she had talked to Tara on the phone before we met in person. So it's something in the past that happened before something else in the past happened. Both of these things were in the past. So, but what I will see students writing or speaking using the past perfect incorrectly will be like, well, I had asked my mom if we could go to the mall, and she had told me that we couldn't go. Well, you don't really need past perfect for that. All you would need was, I asked my mom if we could go to the mall, and she told me no. So only use this particular verb tense construction when it's necessary, okay? And I want you to notice how this, just notice and note how it's used in the text, okay? So that's really all you have to do for today's lesson, is to complete these vocabulary words, do the definitions for them, and complete this little chart. And just make sure that you read through everything. I've already gone over most of it, but go ahead and read it on your own as well. If you want to move on to read the story, you may do that. But like I said, I want to make another video for you on Wednesday and kind of go over with you how to really answer these questions carefully and do your markup, okay? So I will, like I said, tomorrow I probably won't do a video. I will just have that activity in there for you. I might do a video just to remind you, but I'll have that activity in there for you, which is the growth measure assessment, and you need to get that done tomorrow. Also know that Friday is the end of the 3-week grading period, and so next week you'll get progress reports, or it'll be available in Skyward. So you want to make sure that you've got all of your work cleared out of your to-do list in Ed. Okay? If you still have a bunch of assignments in Ed that you haven't marked as done and you haven't done them, then you're missing work, and many of my remote learners are missing work, and we've got to start getting that done. You've got to stay on top of things, okay? You're doing just as much work as the kids here in class, and so you're going to have to stay on top of your work and not get behind. All right, email me if you have any questions, and I will see you on our next video.